Yo, Smacktalking Amigos!
Episode 14. With me, Kean Davidson.
And me, James Bernard, at Smacktalking Amigos and hashtag Smacktalking Amigos. It is episode 14 today.
Yeah.
The episode after TLC.
And it was a very good night on Sunday night. More raised than one.
Well, you weren't so well Sunday night, let's not forget.
I wasn't.
You were sick because you drank too much the night before.
Yeah, rookie mistake.
How much did you drink?
Probably enough to sedate Shenley for a whole month.
Sedate who?
Shenley for a
Wow.
whole month.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think it was enough to sedate Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, I would say.
Wow. Wow.
But I'm superhuman, as you know.
What
But on other matters, TLC was good pay-per-view. Saying
Really
that
good.
it wasn't one of the big fours.
Really good. And SmackDown did themselves really
Yeah.
well. Lots of heel wins.
Yes, they were.
Saw a couple of championship changes.
Yes, we did.
Including Alexa Bliss.
Yes, that was a good match. I thought that would just be easy 8-minute match,
Yeah.
9-minute match, but that was good back and forth.
And the tag titles.
Yeah, tag titles
Brilliant
went to
to
the
see.
right family, so that means the predictions title go to me.
I have to pass them over, mate.
Oh, cheers, thank you, fella.
That's the first time we've had them.
Since I won them from my first prediction.
And they're your titles.
Yeah, I know.
But I thought it was good. I really thought, joking about, to see the Wyatts in there. I'll talk about my disappointment, but I'm going to talk about it a bit later. But his name begins with the same name as mine, which is James,
Yeah.
and rhymes with Spellsworth.
Yeah. But the Wright family, yeah, I like the fact that Luke Harper is carrying both titles.
It's cool, isn't
He's
it?
like the henchman.
Of the Wyatts.
Yeah.
They need one more member.
Yeah, I think they do.
We've talked about it.
Quite like maybe Baron Corbin,
Baron Corbin could work.
or maybe Bo Dallas.
Or Bo coming over. I don't think it'd be much of a loss to the Raw brand at the moment. You're happy with them, aren't you?
My babies are back.
Your babies are back. Our babies are back. Right, Raw.
Yeah.
What did we think?
Raw was interesting.
I thought it was okay this week.
Seth Rollins came out, called out Triple H.
Yep. Called out Triple H. We've spoken about this potentially happening at WrestleMania.
Yes, I think it will. I think Triple H will try and screw Seth at Royal Rumble. But yeah, Kevin Owens came out and said that he's got 3 gifts for Jericho: a US title match, a match with Rollins at Roadblock, and I can't remember the third one.
And he seemed to be trying to win Chris Jericho back.
Yes, he is, but Chris Jericho was having none of it.
No, having absolutely none of it. Although I do think we could see the reunion of the best friends in the world at Roadblock.
Yes, yes, I could see that, but I still think that Roman Reigns will end up winning the championship at Roadblock.
I think Roman's a bigger draw for, as much as we prefer Kevin Owens, he's a bigger draw for Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And is Roadblock and then Royal Rumble, right?
Yes.
So we need to get, there needs to be a big title match, because at the end of the day, the big Royal Rumble match, as we know, is going to be focused on the
Lesnar and
Beast
Goldberg.
and Goldberg.
Yes, but Roman Reigns is getting more cheers than boos now.
Yeah. He's getting over again.
Is that because of his kind of alignment with Seth?
You got to think so. Seth continuously puts on great matches and is very, very popular when it comes to the fans. Roman, although he puts on great matches, we've heard him get booed out of buildings, we've heard him get cheered out of buildings. So he's sort of goes in between at the moment.
Yeah, and we saw Seth Rollins go against the Big Show. Big Show looks like he's lost a lot of weight.
He looks in shape.
Yeah.
He looks really good. We saw Kevin Owens screaming at him on the outside of the ring.
And Big Show just went outside, knocked him out and walked away.
The nice thing to see about Show being in the ring is how other wrestlers have to fight against him. There's no other wrestler in the industry period that has the same sort of thing as Show.
No.
I know they're trying to do it with Braun Strowman, but if you put them both together, Show still probably towers over Braun. was interesting to see Rollins offensive against him, chop blocking his legs, trying to take him down. But we've seen them fight against each other a number of times. The Big Show and Seth Rollins. In fact, with Rollins being a heel, when he was part of the
Authority.
Huh?
Authority.
Authority, yeah. Authority. Part of the Authority.
Authority.
And Big Show fighting for his job.
Yeah. But that's what you've got to do against Big Show. He's a giant. You have to aim for the legs.
Yeah.
Like on the Beast, if I went up or you went up against the Beast, I'd just chop at his legs all day long.
If I and you went up against the Beast, I'd still give the Beast a massive chance. I'd still give him a 90% win rate.
Mate, we'd have the double powerbomb.
That's true. The double, triple powerbomb would have to include someone else in it as well.
Yeah.
You look very comfortable with those belts, by the way.
I do.
Very, very comfortable with them. Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
Wasn't that was now? For those of you that didn't see it, Charlotte Flair came out, put together a sob story. Said, I lost to Sasha, and the one thing I found that I really struggled with was how my father came out and raised a hand.
But you could also see that Ric Flair didn't like that. Last Monday, he had struggles with doing that. He did struggle
with doing that. But he comes out and Charlotte lambasts him in front of the whole crowd, slaps him. I mean, that was
one hell of a slap. Yeah.
One hell of a slap.
Sasha came out looking beautiful as ever.
Yeah.
Trying to make the save, and it ended up Ric Flair seeing his daughter dismantle Sasha.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a 30-minute Iron Man match at Roadblock.
Which is going to be outstanding.
Yes, well, it's going to be outstanding. I think there's only ever been one women's 30-minute Iron Man match, and that was Sasha and Bayley in NXT.
And that was, by all intents and purposes, a match of the year.
Yeah.
So that'll be amazing to see. I feel like we're going through Raw quickly, but the thing is that there's a lot to talk about on SmackDown.
Yes.
The tag team division, I wanted to say, because I must say, Sheamus and Cesaro are looking more and more impressive in the ring together.
Yeah.
The double teams are coming together now. It's not like seeing, Sheamus hits a bro kick, Cesaro hits a Cesaro. They're slowly coming together now, and it's nice to see. And they did really well this week. Actually,
it's a triple threat tag match next week, I think, for the tag team titles.
Who's the third team? Gallows and Anderson.
Gallows and Anderson, I think. I don't know how close the New Day are to Demolition's record.
Very. I think Roadblock might take him over.
Oh, then I think maybe the Raw after Roadblock they'll lose it to someone.
My prediction for it is that I think that they're going to hold on to it for longer. I think they might hold on to it for
maybe Mania.
Yeah, for 500-600 days, but transition into a real tag team.
Yeah, they have to, because they've been at this phase for near enough over a year now, and it's just going to stay. I've said weeks.
Which team would you go for against Cesaro and Sheamus? Would you go for Big E and Kofi? Kofi and Xavier and Big E. We rarely see Xavier and Big E, to be fair.
I'd like to see Xavier and Big E, because we normally see Big E or Kofi and Xavier. I'd like to see Big E and Xavier.
I think Xavier's very, very underrated.
Yeah.
He shot over the ropes this week. And absolutely took out Cesaro and Sheamus. But again, I think that they look very strong in the ring. Anderson and Gallows, I think we could probably count them out of it. I don't see them.
Yes, I think you could. But I don't think Cesaro and Sheamus are the team to get off them.
No, I did originally, but I'm not sure that they are.
No.
I know you think perhaps a Shield unit, especially now we've seen the Wyatts having the titles on SmackDown, but we will talk about that a bit further.
But there's one point I'd love to bring up on Raw, and that is never try and get with Lana.
No, as Enzo Amore found out.
The hard way.
Yep, and now I thought they did this cleverly. Okay, if you look at when John Cena was trying to get with Zack Ryder, who was Zack Ryder? Not Eva Marie. Eva Torres.
But even the AJ Lee segment.
Yes.
John Cena, AJ Lee.
And it was done where John Cena looked like a heel.
Yeah.
This was done where Enzo Amore was definitely looking like a face, and he was definitely saying, "Listen, Lana, I don't think this is a good idea." And that's what I thought was clever about it. I think that to be in that position in a hotel room with Lana and her husband Rusev, the Bulgarian brute.
I have to say that I saw an article that they were hitting the boundary ropes of the PG era then, in that segment. It kind of reminded me of the Edge Lita segment.
Yeah, I
in the
thought
middle
I
of the
thought
ring
so.
in Raw.
I thought so. I thought it was quite. You know, they keep on pushing the boundary, especially with Raw, because it goes on till a bit later. They can afford to do that. But I do see the WWE sort of drifting away from the PG a bit.
Yeah, I do.
Have been for a while. Talking of which, drifting away from the PG into particularly good wrestling. We saw Zayn versus Owens.
Yes.
What I would say is probably still my favourite match on the roster whenever they put them together.
Yeah. I mentioned it last week. Zayn is difficult because he had that huge win at Battleground against Owens, and he's been in limbo ever since. Whereas Owens is now the WWE Universal Champion.
And why, you know, we discussed why that's happening. We've also discussed Zayn perhaps going to SmackDown. So this week, Zayn went to Mick Foley and Mick said, listen, I want to make up for it.
Yeah.
You've got a shot against Kevin Owens. Now, whatever we think about Kevin Owens, whatever we think about him missing his best friend, Chris Jericho, I won't say outperformed Zayn, because I think the match was fantastic. But he won. He got the win when he needed to.
Yeah.
And that was huge.
Owens is a fantastic wrestler, but I think WWE have put over a storyline that he relies on Jericho so much in championship matches.
It weakens him.
It weakens him. Can they potentially make Owens win at Roadblock? I don't know. I don't know how far they've gone into making it believable that he needs Jericho to win.
I think against Reigns, you would say that he does need Jericho, because Reigns is a bigger threat to Owens than Seth Rollins was. Owens could out-wrestle Seth Rollins. He needs to out-fight Roman Reigns, and I don't know that he's going to do that. We saw him out-wrestle Zayn. Zayn pulled off some
amazing moves.
Amazing moves. It always amazes me the thing through the corner ropes.
Yeah, I know.
The DDT through the corner ropes, that was phenomenal. Owens winning with a pop-up powerbomb. Devastating pop-up powerbomb. It always impressed me because if you look at the RKO, how quickly that can happen. Owens does need a bit of setup time, but he does pull off that move practically every time he goes for it.
Does. We first saw it at the start of last year against Cena. And he's just progressed. I haven't got a problem with Owens, he's a fantastic wrestler. It's just, I think WWE have relied on Jericho making him win too much.
For what it's worth, I would like to see him hold the title for longer. I think he can do something more with it.
Yeah, I've said to you before, I'd quite like to see the Brock Owens match at Mania.
Yes, it just depends about, you know, the Royal Rumble. Although I feel like Goldberg or Lesnar, and we'll talk about it near a time, of course, would be a too easy a prediction. But that being said, the Goldberg match against Lesnar, although it was an easy prediction, if you looked at Goldberg's fighting style, that is how Goldberg wins. So will Goldberg go out there and just take out the whole world? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. On to SmackDown though.
SmackDown. A really good SmackDown.
Yes, it was.
However, and this is what I want to talk about, James Elsworth.
Yes, cost Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan, even AJ, Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack after TLC, and even AJ Styles said, you are stupid. The only reason you got 3 wins over me was because of Dean Ambrose. You've burnt that bridge.
And it was a strange bridge to burn, because if you watched AJ, he gave Elsworth I think he gave him a Styles Clash on the steel, on the stairs before he got in the ring. Elsworth groggily got up, pushed Ambrose off the ladder. This was at TLC, of course. Came out the beginning of last week. AJ comes out, explains, his face that runs place, did exactly what he said, which he did. I mean, what a match that was.
Yeah, fantastic match.
Innovative use of the ladders as well.
I think these types of matches suit Dean Ambrose more because of his John Moxley days, where he was just extreme to the core. If you go back on YouTube and just search up John Moxley, you'll see all of his extreme matches. These matches suit him more because he alluded on it in the Stone Cold podcast when he had a no disqualifications match with Brock. He thought of all crazy shit ideas.
And it wasn't allowed to do it.
And he wasn't allowed to do it because of Brock Lesnar's laziness. And Brock Lesnar did what Brock Lesnar does, just turn up, win.
And against AJ, he was able to pull off some... For a start, you could trust AJ. I think that's the thing that all we're seeing with every wrestler that fights AJ. Seth Rollins, when Kevin Owens eventually fights him, Jericho when he fought him, and now Dean Ambrose,
even Cena.
and Cena. They can trust AJ to put over any sort of match. Some of the ladder spots in that match, when they threw the ladders at each other, there was a spot I think when AJ ran up the ladder, it's spots I hadn't seen before or had rarely seen before, and that's impressive because the ladder match has been done and done.
But this is a good thing because these are indie wrestlers, so they're used to coming up with new ideas, and they bring them into WWE now. What is, I think, making WWE prosper and why indies wrestlers are so over on the WWE roster at the moment.
Well, we saw Zach Gallagher, of course, on Raw as well. I just want to say that was great to see him. We'll talk about him more next week. We are on SmackDown. So, AJ comes out, Fraser runs place. Out comes James Elsworth, says, "Listen, I don't mind burning my bridges.
I don't mind. I've beaten you 3 times. I'll beat you again. I've got your number." And then Dean Ambrose just came out and just dirty deeded him without
saying anything.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to do the unthinkable and put the title on James Elsworth?
I hope not, because of what you said you'd do if he did it.
Oh yeah, so I was going to do it naked. Yes, everyone will be delighted.
Yeah.
Will you give me a title to cover up?
No.
That'd be a very small title.
Yeah, very small title. I'll have to get one of the Mattel little figure titles. I actually do think WWE will do the unthinkable.
I think they will, and I think he's going to be a huge heel.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're doing it. I can't see what benefit it is putting it on James Elsworth or spending the time to build up. Let's take someone random.
Baron Corbin.
Who?
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin. But someone even more random. Michael McGillicuddy, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Grant Dallas.
Yeah, but this is
Jack Swagger.
This was strange, but ever since he walked into the WWE, he's got over. Ever since his match with Braun.
That was a strange thing, of all the rest of the for Braun Strowman, the one that came off, and he's not in the best shape. He doesn't put off the best moves. He's not the best at. But listen, credit where it's due to him.
Yeah.
You've got to give it to him. Also, credit where it's due to the Wyatt family again. Fighting this week.
Yeah.
Against their rematch with Slater and Rhino.
Yeah.
They look wicked, and the finish, which was the Sister Abigail into the RKO.
Yeah. The Wyatt family, I think, will clean up SmackDown. I think the world title will go to either Bray or Randy. I hope it goes to Bray because I don't think Randy needs it. And I'd like Harper to go after the IC title. But like I said, I like Harper holding both WWE tag team titles like this at the moment.
I like him holding it, and I like Bray holding the world title. As I said before, we don't need Randy to hold the... Hello, sir.
Morning.
Good morning.
What?
We don't need Randy to hold the Intercontinental title because he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
An interruption. We're going to have to do spots for those interruptions.
Yeah, I know.
When we have interruptions in here, which regularly happens as you've seen from watching us, we're going to have to put in some spots for I think we deliver a dirty deed without saying anything to
Dirty deeds or just walk up, pedigree and just sit back down.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
But yeah, I'd like the Wright family, but I would like them to get more members in when Eric Rowan comes back.
Then they can dominate a bit more. But they did look very dominating this week. Hype Bros looked good against the Ascension.
Yes, they did.
with a Rough Rider or whatever the finisher,
Yeah.
the Rough Rider but on his shoulders. I think that Mojo Riley is getting more impressive in the ring.
Yeah, he is. Like with the Raw tag teams, I don't think there are enough credible tag teams on SmackDown. I think they've got more credible than Raw, but I don't think they've got enough credible.
They need to build it up a lot more. And to have Alpha, Alpha are the ones who should really be going up against the
Alpha,
Wyatts.
yeah, or I really like the Vaudevillains. I don't know what has happened
I
to
don't know
them.
what's happened. I mean, they were so good on NXT and really good when they first came up. They're just quite, they're just not quite got over. But I think they are a good tag team. The women's division on SmackDown is looking strong.
Yes, it is looking very strong indeed. Alexa came out and said that Ding Dong, the Rich is dead. Becky came out and said that she wants a rematch. She will invoke it as soon as possible, and she will get revenge on that bitch.
And in the same way that we've seen Sasha, Charlotte on Raw, I wouldn't mind to see that title go back and forth a couple of times.
No, I wouldn't.
Give it some credibility, you know?
It's like with the Sasha and Charlotte, it's one of the very few that I want to see every single week.
Because they look good in the ring, and they also look good outside of the ring. And the thing I thought was a bit strange with the Carmella, Natty, Brie, Nikki thing. Natty looking good in the ring as she always does.
Yeah.
She's such a strong wrestler.
Yes, she is. If you watch Total Divas, what I think we both do.
We do.
Now he's got the WWE network. She's fantastic. She gives so much experience over because she's obviously part of the Hart dynasty.
Now, for what it's worth, I don't think Natty did attack Nikki. I think that we're going to see a certain all-red diva come back and say that, because I think Eva Marie's been missing for far too long.
Yes, I'd like all blue everything.
Yes, so that was a clever idea. I thought they should do that, definitely.
All blue everything instead of all red everything. Eva Marie, she will build up because she will get so much heat. There was an article, she was talking to PW Insider during the week, I think. Guys would pay fortunes to have as much heat as she does.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you see people get zero heat.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen so many wrestlers that don't, that to me is a problem with the Vaudevillains. They don't get cheered, they don't get booed. No. They just got zero heat.
Yeah.
So you're right. And I heard Nikki's cheer at TLC. She got a huge ovation. Yeah. Probably the biggest one, other than maybe Ambrose of the night.
Yeah.
So let's just talk very quickly. There's 2 points I really, really have to make with you.
No.
First thing is, John Cena, the stories emerged this week.
Oh yeah, this is another point that I want to bring up.
Go on.
John Cena, when he was in his feud with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and he's even made it publicly on Twitter that he doesn't like the fact that Dwayne Johnson left the WWE to go away and conquer Hollywood. John Cena, quite frankly, at the moment is being the biggest hypocrite in the world because he's doing exactly the same thing.
This is what I wanted to bring up. Do they have to start fading him out of the WWE? Do they have to start making him more of a legend contract?
They have to, because he, at the moment, on a full-time contract, he is the biggest draw in the WWE.
By some margin,
By some margin. Where does that big draw come from now?
The only person you can think of is bringing Taker back or bringing Triple H back, as we've said, or Lesnar.
Yeah.
Or Lesnar. We've said about John Cena for ages.
Yeah.
He's the biggest draw. He's the best. But if Hollywood really, really is taking his fancy, like it seems to at the moment, they have to start thinking about life without John Cena.
And it will be a difficult period for him.
A new star will have to be born. A proper new star, and I don't think it's Reigns.
Anyone on the roster at the moment.
There's someone that takes the ball by the horns and runs with it. In the same way that CM Punk did that when Cena had a bit of time off.
Yes.
And Daniel Bryan did that. Talking of which, this is a nice transition. Daniel Bryan, The Miz.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
WrestleMania?
Yeah, I'd say it's going to happen at WrestleMania. But again, the Miz TV segment with Dean Ambrose.
Oh, that was great.
When the Miz said, "You must be pissed off with James Elsworth," and Dean said, "You've never seen me pissed off."
Yeah, it was my favourite. I've seen Dean this week. I thought he looked really cool this week, and he actually got to fight. You know, our last thing was he got to fight the Miz in the main event on SmackDown. Miz typically looking brilliant in the ring.
Yeah.
There's certain things he does in the ring as a heel, Miz, that are so effective, including using his wife on the outside. But there's certain little, where he cowers away and he hits an extra move when the ref's not looking. You know, it's just so heel-like. I like.
He's the best heel in the company at the moment. I know you say Jericho is, but I think the Miz is the best heel in the company.
I would say he's on par.
And I've said it before and I'll say it again, I think the Miz can have a title run. A proper, long title run.
I think he can, but I don't think it's going to happen until after WrestleMania, because I think at WrestleMania we will see Bryan Miz, as we said.
I don't know who you give the title to, because if John Cena's taking more time off, do you really give him the title at Mania?
You can't give it to him at Mania. I mean, maybe perhaps you keep it on AJ. Mania.
I think the Undertaker is going to have it at the Rumble, so does AJ take it back off him?
Well, unless the Undertaker is the man that comes back in the Rumble, that's a distinct possibility as well. So we got, the last thing I wanted to talk about was Elsworth again.
Yeah.
Costing Ambrose the Intercontinental title. Miz is now a 15-day Intercontinental, as he can insist on telling everybody. 15 days of the reign.
If I was James Elsworth, I'd be very scared indeed, because
how do you cost a lunatic 2 titles in 2 days, in 4 days?
I think it's okay. I think it's on par with pissing off the Beast.
Yes, I agree. Agree. There's one more thing I wanted to bring up and say that we didn't manage to say, and that's to say Dolph Ziggler and Miz had one of the most epic ladder matches I've seen in a long time.
Yes, that was a great ladder match.
The spots with them push, where they were between the ropes and Dolph Ziggler shoved the ladder at Miz and caught him in the neck. There was a spot where Miz slammed Ziggler's leg in between the ladder. Put a spot when the Miz caught the figure 4 leg lock in between the ladder. Innovative.
Like I said last week, there are certain feuds that can go on for a lifetime and we will never get bored of them.
That's so true. Although they
Dolph
said
versus the Miz, Daniel versus the Miz. You've got Dean versus Seth. You've got
Owens versus Zayn.
You've got Cena versus Orton. You've got Cena versus Punk. That will never get old.
Cena Styles could Cena Styles, I think, as well. Guys, with the Smacktalking Amigos, it's coming up to half an hour. Please follow us at Smacktalking Amigos. Please hashtag Smacktalking Amigos. We want to try and get as many views as we can. This is episode number 14. That means we'll be going for 15 weeks because we missed 1 week.
Yeah, and I promise I will put out tweets.
Tweet. That's all we can do. Please hashtag Smacktalking Amigos. Peace.